24th weekend, we went up to Squamish at the, well, part of it was at the Quest University, and the other half was at the, what's it called, the like train museum. It was at the train museum. And we learned about, we saw a ton of guest speakers who told their stories throughout Rotary in like throughout their entire lives. I don't actually remember much of the names of the people who talked to us, but yeah. Right, this is the first time we got there. This is the Icebreaker. It was pretty much just like we got to the roundhouse, we left our bags. We got to the roundhouse, left our bags in the bus, and like, why is it keep switching? Just go. Let's leave it. Don't touch it.
Heavy fingers.
Yeah. So we got to the roundhouse. We sort of just like met kids on the bus. We got to meet everyone. There was a barbecue. We were given our name tags and tickets to buy drinks and whatnot. And sort of went in the trains, went to the museum, and met new friends and that kind of stuff. Cafeteria / meeting hall. This is where we had most of our guest speakers who would talk to us. Speakers down here. And up top was where we used to eat lunch and hung out with a lot of the kids we met. People down there were, as I already said, they were talking about their stories throughout Rotary, and yeah, that's just about it. Here were a couple of guest speakers. Like you said, we don't know their names, but this was at the roundhouse here. This was the cafeteria at Quest University. This guy basically talked about his life. He actually told some really cool stories because he moved to, he went to Haiti after the earthquake there, and he talked about a lot of the stories. And he only had like a 3rd degree first aid. He was a volunteer paramedic there. Yeah, a lot of interesting stories. Some of them actually were pretty scary in my opinion. Yeah. Talking about like saving lives and like how he saw a lot of scary stuff when he was there. And this guy, I'm not sure. He talked about he just talked about like Rotary, his life with Rotary and stuff like that when he joined in introduction. This was actually my school's interaction. On Saturday night, all the schools would talk about their interact in Rotary clubs with their schools, and this was actually my school here, and yeah, they just talked about all the fundings they made. They actually made $10,000 total throughout the year, which was more than all the other schools. They earned $4,000 on a fundraiser just to shave the kid's mustache.
Nice to live in a rich area, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's this is the night we did it was like the Interact Awards. Yeah, the rewards for the Interact clubs.
Do you both go to Robert?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We did go to West End, but we switched over like a year and a half ago. And our next slide. This was the talent night, kids. Yeah. This was like the first night. Yeah, this is actually back to the first night. There was a talent show. Kids could get up on stage and just. I actually had a talent. I did a comedy skit. I sort of got in trouble for that, but this is the talent night, and kids would like just like sing. I don't know, do like dances, like anything. This is a group dance here in the school. I think it was Seashell, but I'm not sure what it was, but yeah. And that was just kind of for fun on the first night there. Oh yeah, next slide. These were the dorms we stayed at, right below the university. Yeah, this is just like most of our all these 3 floors here and this deck. We just that's where we slept. We actually didn't spend much time there. Yeah, we didn't spend pretty little amount of time. We were pretty much just sleeping, and we hung out there for maybe like a little bit of time each day, but not much. So pretty much just where we slept. There's a lot of, I noticed that there's a lot of, I thought it was going to be more like camp-like stuff, like Birch and Eliza explained, but it was a lot of meetings and conferences. Yeah, it was really, really interesting. I was just expecting like a tent in the woods or something, but this was definitely nicer. Yeah, this request was really nice. Just.
Will, tell them about the young guy with no arms.
Oh, yeah, actually guest speakers. There was a guest speaker who, was he born with his parents, like, there was like this medication his parents used. Yeah, he actually was born with like no arms, and
he showed us a lot of cool. He told us about his whole life without arms and how he went through it.
Rotarian and
He showed us him playing the piano with his toes, and he was actually
played the
very,
drums. He could
very
like,
good at it.
he could comb his hair. He could do a ton of crazy stuff.
He could actually use his feet as like when people use their hands to express things, he used his feet like that. It was pretty.
Yeah, he was a really interesting guy. A lot of cool stories.
Probably the next slide. Huh? And these were probably not even a fraction of the friends we made along the way.
He's a cool photo.
And yeah, we met a ton of cool people, as I said, and a lot of them were the guest speakers, but as well with a lot of interesting kids. I'd say like some of them were from like downtown Vancouver, a few were from like Kitsilano, and even Tualatin. There was from where was it? By Prince George.
Yeah, there was some people from Cornell in Upper BC. There was a few kids.
They
from
said it was
there.
about a 10-hour drive here, 10-hour drive, ferry ride.
There was some people all around BC came to this.
Huh.
I think that's it.
Yeah, this is just a view of from the cafeteria of the mountains and Quest University's campus. Any questions?
Okay. So, I had a couple of questions, if I may. So how many kids were there in total?
So I'd say like 110, between like 90 and 120 around there.
All about your age?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they ranged from like there was two
15 to 18 maybe.
yeah, and then there was like two young kids. There was like two 10-year-olds, I think.
Right.
Most of them are in between the ages of like 14 and like 18 around there.
And so the other question I had was, given that it was sort of a weekend of, as you say, of guest speakers and meeting lots of different people and doing those sorts of activities, opposed to, what Birch and Eliza did, lots of outdoor stuff. It sounded like you met some really fascinating people.
Yeah.
My question is, have you been inspired by some of their stories?
Oh,
And in what way?
definitely. Like they've really taught me like a lot about like getting more involved with your community. Cause like I'm actually not in a Rocker Junior Active Club, but a lot of the kids taught me this too. Like just to like maybe like help out more, like come up with more like things for the community, like bake sales, stuff like that. And I'm definitely like we're both definitely joining the Rocker Junior Active Club next year.
On the award ceremony, all these kids were saying how they're constantly doing like volunteering in like the community, doing like going to soup kitchens and like walking around like the downtown east side and whatnot, like handing out like packages to homeless people with like blankets and toothbrushes and stuff. It just made me want to like really inspire me to get out and do that kind of stuff.
That's excellent. Do you see any? Have you recognised any opportunities in our community that you think kids, I'm not necessarily saying you guys, but kids in general could get involved in at a volunteer level that would make some sort of difference?
Yeah, like anything like when it comes to like BowFest or something, just setting up for that, maybe kind of coming up with their own stands and selling stuff at BowFest, like what you see every year. Anything such as that, like I think the kids could volunteer to do more often on the island.
Well, good on you. Well done.
Yep.
I'm not going to let a good opportunity go by. I just happen to need a couple of young for setting up the Run for Rwanda. It's the start and finish line. So if you're free
On BowFest?
on BowFest, if you're free for that, you can win major brownie points with all sorts of old folks. And I'm sure that there's a bun and some fruit and all sorts of things. And if you did it in the evening, you could go for the run in the morning and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll you can probably do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, just when you come up, let us know.
Yeah, I'll just keep you informed. Any more questions? Yes?
These Interact clubs, I don't know too much about Interact. Are some of them related to the schools that people go to, and then some to Rotary clubs, or how are they set up? You were talking about joining the Rockridge one.
Yeah.
Is there a West Van one and a Sentinel one?
Yeah, every school has an interact club.
Every single school?
Yeah,
has
most
one.
likely.
These
Unless
were-
like not enough kids signed up.
These were all pretty school-based, all these interact clubs. Most
There was
schools have-
Rotary Awards, but what happened there? That was like mostly adults and stuff. It's talking about like their. Actually, no, that was mostly kid. The Rotary Awards. What they even talk about the Rotary Awards again?
I don't. What was there?
Yeah, there was a Rotary Award for the Interact Awards.
I'm not. Yeah. It was mostly just like. There was Rotary Awards for like Rotarians who they would receive awards for like stuff that they do, but the Interact ones was mostly like schools, like.
Yeah, like most likely every school has an Interact club,
Yeah.
Okay.
unless they don't get enough kids to sign up. But
There's usually ones in the community.
But like, yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like our school only has like they have like 20 at the most, but some other there was one school that had like 50 students in their Interact club, and I was really impressed with that.
Maybe a bigger school.
Yeah.
May I add to that, please?
Yep.
Though many of the Interact clubs are school-oriented, I was told by people up there at Squamish that we could have a community Interact club, since there is no school here. It could be a community one right on Bowen.
Okay.
So there's possibilities. Sorry?
Related to our club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and that might be good at them.
Who was the most memorable speaker for you guys?
If you go back a few slides, there's a picture of him. He was this young guy, 20 or like maybe
23 or something.
and like the one who like went to Haiti as like a volunteer paramedic. He told some really crazy stories. Like there was this one where like it's like a little harsh, but like there was like this pregnant woman. He had like yeah, I just want to stay away from that actually. But well, there was like this pregnant woman that was already like passed away due to the earthquake, like the tsunami and stuff like that. And they actually had to try and get the like baby out to see if they could still save it, but both of them ended up passing away. But actually, the day after that, he saved a pregnant woman and the baby were both safe. So he kind of felt like that was like. He felt that he was really like inspired. Like he felt like both those moments completely changed him.
Yeah,
Entirely.
yeah, it was like dealt with a lot of patience, and he said it was pretty scary but really inspiring trip, really life
Yeah,
changing.
he was definitely the most inspiring speaker in my opinion. Any more questions?
I heard you say that you did a skit. I
yeah.
also heard you say you got into some trouble for that.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you could share the skit.
He should do it. Do it.
it's probably like a 5-minute skit, but I can tell the one part that got me so.
Oh, we got 5 minutes.
Only if you want to, buddy. Don't take questions.
I'll just say the one joke that sort of got me in trouble. It was another kid who got in trouble too for a joke, but the one joke that did get me in trouble was I said it was about me, like the conversation was about an awkward situation about
Just
me.
do it.
And it's
Yeah.
too violent.
Just
Alright,
do it.
so like I said what was it again? So I said like after 16 years of deleting internet history and storing tissues under my bed, I finally got a date.
We've never seen it.
Don't take any pressure.
Even from your mom.
I have a question. Yeah, it's great that you got so much from this. Is there anything missing from the program, from your experience or perspective, that you'd like to see added into the program?
Maybe like there wasn't much like there wasn't much like all the like interact awards and stuff like, and also like our free time. We had like time to interact with other kids during our free time and lunch and all that, but they didn't really have much like programs and games like built around that like trying to get youth to get involved with each other. It was mostly guest speakers and most
Yeah.
that would be fun.
So that would be something you'd like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it was a really, really interesting conference, but I think if a conference for youth, it should probably be a little more youth-based. Maybe it's
Like youth, there was
like
a lot of
just-
sitting down, and I know youth get kind of antsy.
we
and,
spent
information.
5 hours in a chair at one point.
Really nice.
It's almost like a school day, right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
It was really,
Summer too.
really interesting, but maybe just if they were to get maybe a little more resourced with youth-oriented activities.
Yeah, yeah.
So all these guest speakers were a lot older than you?
Yeah. There were some in their 60s. There's the youngest one was probably that one first volunteer paramedic, but I noticed the most the other ones
Most
were
of them were in between 40s and 60s.